Next up, we have on-chain collateral for stablecoins. So how real-time audits and oracles bring valuable data and transparency to the DeFi ecosystem. Join Clayton, Noah, and Armanino.
It's a mouthful, Dustin.
Armanino. Yes. Armanino. Along with Rafael of TrustToken as they explore this topic. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dustin. All right, hey everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Clayton Lowery. I'm a senior consultant in Armanino's blockchain and digital assets practice. And with me, I've got Noah Buxton, our fearless leader here at Armanino, and Rafael Cosman, the co-founder and CEO of TrustToken. We're excited to chat about what we do in this space with all of you and also debut a really exciting partnership we've been working on between Armanino, TrustToken, and Chainlink to start bringing collateral data for the fiat backing each of TrustToken's stablecoins on-chain for use in smart contracts and DeFi applications. But first, Raf, and then Noah, do you want to give us some quick intros into our products and who we are and what we do?
Sure, happy to. I'm Rafael. I am the CEO of TrustToken, and we're best known for our product TrueUSD, which is one of the largest stablecoins in the world today, about $360 million in market cap right now. And we also made 4 other stablecoins that are somewhat smaller for different foreign currencies. We've got one for Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, Hong Kong dollar, and British pound. And we're coming up with some new products soon that are in the DeFi space. And we can share a little bit more about that later in this talk.
All right, that puts it to me. So thanks, guys. Yeah, my name is Noah Buxton. I'm a director here in Armanino's blockchain and digital asset practice. And I guess I'd say I'm a reformed attorney with a background in tech and risk assurance. So I wear a few different hats here. But Armanino, first off, is a large public accounting firm. We're a top 25 public accounting firm. We operate in the US and globally, about 1,300 people and a few $100 million of revenue every year. One of our most innovative spaces is serving digital assets and the blockchain space. And so I have the great pleasure, as Clayton said, of leading that practice today. And we're doing a lot of fun stuff. Very quickly, basically what we do is act as subject matter experts in audit, tax, consulting type engagements, basic business solutions, but tailored to this industry. We also are a bit of an innovation hub for the firm, and we develop new products. So we've shipped some very interesting things, and we'll talk a little bit about more about those today. But basically, what the new product is, or the new products that we build, essentially that's Trust Explorer for us, which is a world-first real-time assurance platform for asset-backed tokens and a few other products that sit under that umbrella, but all digital asset and assurance, trust and transparency focused tools.
Great. So, Raf, the TrueUSD market cap has been on a tear over the past few months. I think it's almost doubled in just like August alone. What would you say is driving this success and growth for y'all?
I'd say it's primarily driven by usage of TrueUSD in DeFi, and in particular, Curve.fi has driven a lot of that growth. I think right now there's 229 million TrueUSD sitting in Curve.fi. So they've got a huge pool, and that's in a pool with 3 other stable coins. So altogether, they've got $850 million in that pool. That's a very, very big product. But that and a couple of other DeFi products have been driving a lot of the growth. And it's something we're very excited about. And we're also right now talking with some of the DeFi products about adding support for our foreign currencies as well, because that's something that right now has been pretty unexplored in DeFi, and we think there's a lot of potential.
Yeah, and y'all have been a leader in transparency in stablecoins from the very beginning. You set the standard back to get the first kind of periodic attests over any balance back when it wasn't cool, and innovated again with us to start doing that live, which was really awesome. So what's made transparency and trust so important for y'all? And how does this putting the collateral on chain fit into that vision?
Yeah, so when we launched TrueUSD, it was back then there was just Tether. There's basically, in terms of fiat-backed stablecoins, there was just Tether, and then there was us. And the reason why we decided to make a stablecoin was we just thought, it's it felt like kind of a crazy situation that you can have a stablecoin like Tether that is so just has so many, so mistrusted and has issues with auditing and accounting issues and so on. but it still had a huge amount of market capitalization, ton of usage. And at the time, there weren't any other fiat-backed stablecoins that were on the market. And so we launched for USD. Since then, USDC and a handful of others have come out. But being a lot more transparent has always been part of our DNA, what we've really tried to do with the product. And so Trust Explorer is an important collaboration that we've done with Armanino, where it's a product that they've built where they connect directly to our banking partners, and they are 24/7 auditing those funds and then reporting to users of TrueUSD and our other true currency products that they can see that those products are fully collateralized. So that's one of the interesting things, is that there's some sense in which we're not even involved in that. Like, they connect directly to our banks. It doesn't go through our systems or our servers in any way. And it's a product completely built by them. So that's part of what makes it much more trustworthy. That it's really a third party.
Yeah. So
build off that real quick, Raf, if I can, Clayton. The other side of the equation too, Armanino, hosts a set of nodes for the couple of chains that you guys are issuing on right now, and so we're pulling that data independently, from our own hosted nodes. So, I think just to speak real quick to the partnership, I think it has been incredibly important, to have a partner, honestly, that's focused on trust and transparency and doing things in a compliant and open and transparent way. That was for us initially a huge something that we saw with TrustToken and the TrueUSD product, that basically trying to do everything right. And so when you're an accounting firm and you've got lots of guardrails around what you need to do in your professional practice, you look at a client like that and you're like, okay, that's somebody that we can kind of run with. So I think that speaks to how we were able to innovate together.
Yeah, and following up from that, how did Trust Explorer come to exist and go from kind of the boring traditional manual audits to end up spitting out data that could be used in a smart contract? I know that story could fill probably the rest of SmartCon, but that's quite a leap for an accounting firm. Big leap. Yeah.
It's there's definitely a long story. Let me start by first saying also that, to be very clear, that this system that we're talking about, Trust Explorer and real-time audit over TrustToken's assets, is not something that's opaque to users. It's not hard to access. It's online today. Anybody in the public can go and see it. And so regulators can visit that site, potential investors can visit it, current token holders can visit it. And not only can they get a quick view, so you can see this at real-time attest.trustexplorer.io, or just Google it and you'll find it. You get a very quick view graphically of the tokens in circulation and the actual dollars, or again, Canadian dollars, Hong Kong dollars, etc., sitting in trust company bank accounts, trust companies or bank accounts, and collateralizing those tokens, right? And the whole visibility there is basically that you've got a one-to-one collateralization, right? So that's the whole promise, is the 100% reserve, and that's what we're checking. But on top of that, we built a real-time audit system as well. So Trust Explorer is truly the world's first real-time audit. It's the first time an information system has issued a true independent accountant's opinion, or an attest opinion, as we say, in real time. And so you can click a button. Anybody can click that button, and the system will actually generate you a unique report. And the assurance window on that report is 30 seconds. So we've gone from 365 days of yearly audits to 30 days of collateral audits for some stable coins, but not all of them, down to an assurance window of 30 seconds. So orders of magnitude is what we're talking about in terms of assurance, both the availability, the quality, the timeliness of that assurance. So that's kind of the product. Now, how do we get there? Long story. For us, it was just being responsive to a client that was doing something new. They basically said, we have this report. It's pretty good. Can we do something better than that? And we, being maybe a little bit foolish, a little bit enthusiastic, we're like, yeah, let's give that a try. So we kind of went down that path, and it was iterative. So the first thing we built was a dashboard. We proved out that we could host nodes in our own infrastructure, that we could reliably query them, that we could build APIs to bank accounts in a reliable way. And then once we had that base, we thought, okay, now we can build a real audit system on top of this. And then to the piece that you're talking about, Clayton, that last piece as well. Now, how can we take audited information and provide it back to other ecosystems in a usable way? So not only do we provide that back to TrustToken's front-end site so that their users can easily and seamlessly see audited data. There's a huge opportunity to provide that back on chain. And we think that that'll be another groundbreaking step.
Yeah, so Raf, how is that going to work, and where does Chainlink fit in?
Yeah, so this is something that we're developing right now in collaboration with Armanino and working with Chainlink as well to have Chainlink's oracles report on chain the collateralization of these stable coins. Because one of the things that has always made folks in DeFi, at least made some folks in DeFi, a little bit hesitant about fiat-backed stable coins is that it feels more centralized. It feels like you're trusting the centralized issuer of the stable coin, and you don't necessarily have insight to be able to see that there's actual collateral backing it. And systems like DAI, they've got certain trade-offs, but one of the advantages that something like DAI has is that you can see all of the Ether or other cryptocurrencies that are backing DAI directly on the blockchain. So the idea here is, have Armanino connect to our bank accounts, as you're already doing, and pull out that information about the collateralization of these assets, and then have that connect to oracles where we can put that collateralization information directly on chain. And then folks in crypto, even smart contracts, DeFi protocols, can directly read that from the oracles on chain and know that these assets are fully collateralized 100% of the time.
Yeah, that's cool. So what do y'all see as some potential use cases? Like, how do you see DeFi and smart contract developers using this kind of data?
Noah?
Yeah, I think, well, first off, I have to say the opportunities feel a little bit limitless. And there's so many more smart people than I in this space. I mean, just listening to smart
and it's so early too.
Like, okay, these people are absurdly smart. So yeah, the ecosystem will determine what is valuable, what is useful. And that is the marketplace of free ideas that is happening right now. Side note, DeFi has had some interesting headlines, I would say. But what I'm seeing is true experimentation with technology and payments and decentralization and counterparty trust and all these interesting things, right? So I think it's all valuable, even the failures. But so that's what I'd say on that. I think one interesting thing that's going on right now a little bit is risk scoring, right, for DeFi lending protocols. And I think that bringing collateral data on chain, Raf and I talked about, hey, that's a very tangible, very real way to build circuit breakers into protocols, right? So right now, I think much of what we have, I think it's fair to say, in DeFi protocols doesn't rely on a lot of outside or off-chain information, right? And so, increasing that, even some of the projects we're talking in the panel before this about bringing credit data or bank account data history, all those things online to DeFi lending protocols could be huge. So I think that's one. What do you think, Raf?
I'd agree with that. I think it's a very similar level of transparency to what you have with DeFi protocols like Aave or Compound or Maker, where you can see, a smart contract can read the status of the Maker system directly on chain and see, how much Ether is locked up in Maker, how much DAI has it issued, what are the oracles saying the value of that Ether is, and they can see, okay, well, is it over collateralized? Is it getting kind of close? Is it in an under collateralized state? And very similarly with a stable coin, or the fiat-backed stable coin that's actually has a network of oracles reporting that on chain, it's exactly the same thing. A smart contract would be able to see that system is in a fully collateralized or under collateralized state. And of course, TrueUSD and other products are designed to be fully collateralized, but we'd like to be the first stablecoin and maybe for a while the only stablecoin that is in real time, 24/7, reporting that data on chain, just like how we're reporting it through the Trust Explorer product with you right now.
Yeah, and another thing could be, we just heard from the insurance panel right before us, and I know it's still so early in decentralized insurance that it mostly focuses on smart contract risk, but you could see a situation where counterparty risk could come into play with the insurance, some sort of futuristic insurance product based on that. So
exactly.
Like Noah said, the possibilities are, who knows? It's so early.
Yeah, you could have insurance on it. You could have predictions markets about it, all kinds of things. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Also,
Raph, y'all have been hard at work on we're getting low on time, another exciting development over at TrustToken as you guys dive even deeper into DeFi than you already are. Do you want to give us a sneak peek of the Trufy?
absolutely. So we are right now developing a new product for DeFi called Trufy. And Trufy is a protocol for uncollateralized lending, for doing uncollateralized lending on chain. And the vast majority of DeFi today is built on over collateralized lending. That's how Aave, Compound, Maker, all these systems work. And the reason why anyone can borrow from one of those products is that you have to put up, 120% or 150% collateral, so that if you default on that loan, well, the protocol is holding a bunch of collateral that it can liquidate, so it's protected. With Trufy, we are making a system that's going to be on chain, it's going to be decentralized, and it's going to be doing uncollateralized loans. And the way it's going to work is it's kind of like a decentralized loan officer, where the holders of a token called TrustToken are going to be able to vote on loan applications and decide whom they think is a worthy borrower and who isn't. And they're going to be deciding, who's able to take out capital from the pools. So that's a system that we're very excited about. We're developing right now, and we're going to be sharing more about it publicly soon.
That's awesome. All right, Noah. So even though audit's extremely manual, it produces a lot of really like the highest quality data. So what advantages of this coming from a company like Armanino does that provide? And also, traveling way into the future, where do you see something down the road with data produced by an audit?
Opportunities are huge. I think generally I would say a shorter answer is that the ability to tokenize real world assets is going to eat and eventually wholly consume what we think of as traditional legacy financial assets today. And
agreed.
Yeah, and so once everything is natively digital and your assurance is natively digital and real time, the possibilities are limitless. I mean, I think about private securities alone being a $16 trillion industry. You think about tokenizing one of the big areas there, real estate, funds, REITs, income producing real estate vehicles. There's some pieces of that are easy, right? You can tokenize the loan, the limited partnership. You can run that and you have a cap table essentially for a limited partnership that's easy, right? It's automated and it's on chain. But what about the income and rents from the income producing real estate? What about the taxes? What about the maintenance liabilities? And what about the insurance liabilities on that property? Those are all off-chain pieces. But if you can create an audit system, and I think Chainlink is an obvious bridge here, but that's basically, if you think about creating audited data and putting it on chain using, say, a Chainlink Oracle, you can provide that to a smart contract for an STO that can fairly distribute, say, stablecoins, how about some Tree USD, as dividends on an STO deal. So I think that's one of the things that's really tangible, but it is still a bit far out, So I would say that's pretty aspirational at this point still.
Yeah, that's a really neat use case.
We're excited about exactly the same thing.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Excited you guys are working on it.
We needed more time, Dustin.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys. Where can people get a hold of you on Twitter and things like that to follow your projects?
Well, I'm at Rafael Cosman, and our company is at TrustToken. Feel free to follow us. We've got some exciting announcements about some new initiatives we're doing with true currencies in DeFi that we're going to be announcing soon as well.
Yeah, and I'm Noah. I'm at BTC Me Please, or PLV on Twitter. Happy to talk to any of you. The company is Armanino LLP. You can find us online, and we have some fun news next week as well. So check out Real Vision and check out the top crypto publications for some new announcements on Trust Explorer. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm at Clayton Lowery, and we'll be doing a blog with Chainlink and TrustToken on this at some point in the future to give a little more context and around what we talked about today. And so thanks, Dustin, for having us, and thanks, Noah and Raph. It's great.
Awesome.
Thanks for having
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Cheers.